Have you ever felt a chill in a digital space that should have felt like a sanctuary? You know that heavy, suffocating tension in a comment section, a Discord server, or even a private group chat where the air feels thick with unspoken hostility. You try to find the source of it. You look for the loudmouth, the obvious bully, the person shouting insults from the rooftops. But you can't find them. The vitriol is there, the energy is jagged, but the villain feels like a ghost. That's because we have moved past the era of the loud troll. We have entered the era of the digital mask. The most toxic people in our online lives are no longer shouting from the sidelines. They are infiltrating your inner circle by pretending to be your biggest supporters. They aren't trying to break the door down anymore. They are learning how to walk through it, carrying a gift in one hand and a hidden blade in the other. To understand why this is happening, we have to look at the evolution of the digital mask. In the early days of the internet, toxicity was a byproduct of anonymity. It was deindividuation, the psychological phenomenon where, because you couldn't be seen, you felt you didn't have to be human. It was easy to be a monster when you were just a username screaming into a void. But the internet has matured, and so has the predator. Today, anonymity isn't just a shield, it's a laboratory. Toxic individuals now use the online disinhibition effect not just to lash out, but to curate. They use the safety of the screen to construct sophisticated, high-functioning personas. They study the community they want to infiltrate. They learn the slang, they mirror the values, and they adopt the benign disinhibition. That human tendency to be more open and vulnerable online. They become the helpful member, the one who always offers the most constructive criticism, the one who seems to be the only one brave enough to speak the truth. This is where it gets dangerous. There is a sociological concept called brutalization. It's the idea that toxic actors don't just enter healthy communities, they exploit the mechanics of the community itself to make it turn on its own members. Think of a community as a forest. A healthy forest has its own balance. A toxic person enters not as a fire but as a spark. They identify the existing friction points, the small grievances, the minor misunderstandings, and they fan them. They provide the justification for others to be mean. They frame their manipulation as accountability. They weaponize the community's own desire for justice to create a cycle of mutual hostility. Eventually, the community begins to brutalize itself. The toxic person doesn't have to do all the work. They just have to provide the spark that causes the neighbors to start throwing stones at one another. It feels like a haunting. It feels like a ghosting cycle. This is what we call narcissistic stealth. For the sophisticated toxic person, the goal isn't a public fight, it's a private dismantling. They use a hide and meddle tactic. They will undermine your confidence, stir up drama in your circle, or subtly gaslight your perception of reality. And the moment you start to suspect them, the moment you try to call them out, they vanish. They disappear into the digital ether, leaving you with a lingering sense of uncertainty. This is a deliberate psychological move. By hiding their presence after the damage is done, they maintain power. If you can't see the perpetrator, you can't defend yourself against them effectively. You are left spiraling in a loop of why did that happen, and who did that to me? The most dangerous toxic actor today is the helpful villain. They are the ones who offer the most help. They build social capital by being the most reliable, the most supportive, the most in your corner. They use your trust as a Trojan horse. They want to be your mentor, your confidant, your ride or die. Why? Because it's the most efficient way to control the narrative. If they are your friend, you defensive yourself looks like paranoia. If they are your mentor, your questioning of them looks like ingratitude. They have successfully weaponized your own kindness against you, and we have to talk about the anonymity paradox. We like to think that anonymity causes toxicity, but for the sophisticated predator, anonymity is a tool for precision. It allows them to test different masks on different audiences without any real-world consequences. They can be a supportive sister in one group and a harsh critic in another, all while keeping their true self completely insulated from the fallout. The future of this is even more daunting. We are approaching the era of AI masks. Soon, toxic individuals won't even need to maintain these personas themselves. They will use persona generators to create perfectly normal, high-engagement identities that can interact with thousands of people simultaneously. The digital mask will become indistinguishable from a human heart. So, how do you protect yourself? How do you navigate a world where the villains are wearing the faces of your friends? You have to stop looking at the words and start looking at the patterns. A troll is loud. A manipulator is consistent. A troll wants to hurt you. A manipulator wants to shape you. Look for the pivot. Watch how someone reacts when you set a boundary. Do they lean in with genuine concern, or do they immediately pivot to victimhood or gaslighting? Watch for the social capital grab. Does this person always seem to be trying to position themselves as the moral authority of the group? You must treat your digital space like a sacred garden. You wouldn't let a stranger walk into your home and start rearranging your furniture, right? You wouldn't let someone you barely know tell you how to feel about your own life. The deeper truth is this: your peace is not a public commodity, it is a private sanctuary. The reason these people are getting better at hiding is that they know how much power they can exert when they are invisible. They want you to feel haunted. They want you to doubt your own instincts. But your instincts are your compass. If a space feels heavy, it is heavy. If a friend feels like a predator, they are a predator. You don't need to expose them to be safe. You don't need to win the argument or prove they are lying. The ultimate victory over the digital mask isn't winning the online war. It's reclaiming your own reality. It's the ability to see the mask for what it is, a hollow construction, and choosing to turn your gaze elsewhere. Here is your first step. Today I want you to do a pattern audit. Think of one person in your digital circle who leaves you feeling drained, confused, or weird after an interaction. Don't look at what they said. Look at how you felt after you stopped looking at the screen. Write down 3 times that feeling occurred. Observe the pattern. That is where the mask begins to slip. Once you see the pattern, the ghost loses its power. You can stop trying to see through the mask and simply decide not to let the mask into your house.